So let's switch it up. Let's talk a little politics here. Now, the breaking news is that Paul Ryan, the GOP Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan, says that he will not seek re-election in November. My God, man. You know, if there's one thing Trump supporters they achieved is the main goal, which was to put a disruptor in politics and basically shake things up and turn it on its head because the GOP party is finished. They are finished. You know, at this rate, I'm expecting Mitch McConnell in the next week or two to say, you know what, I'm hanging up my hat. And that's really all you have left is Mitch McConnell behind Paul Ryan. And again, like I said, I am in no way shedding any tears about the GOP or the Democratic Party. Okay, I am not a Democrat, nor am I a Republican. Okay, I tend to vote independent anyway, and in almost every election that I have ever voted for. Okay, I do not believe in corporate shrills, such as the corporate Democrats who tell you that they are liberal when or far left when really they're centrist who almost 90% of the time vote down the middle of the line, and Democrats are paid to lose. Everyone knows this, all right? Then you have, you know, the GOP, who I completely don't agree with any of their policies, their perspectives on society whatsoever. Being a person of color, get the fuck up out of here. Why ever would I ever support the Republican Party? All right. And I also feel like, as an African American male, I think that a lot of the African American community needs to break away from the Democratic Party. But hey, that's a story for another day. Let's talk about Paul Ryan, the spineless Paul Ryan. Man, oh man, dude. This dude who was virtually quiet throughout this entire Trump catastrophe and disaster, because everybody knows it's a disaster. Nobody wants to really admit or say that the Trump presidency is a disaster, but everybody knows it. You know, he's got his personal lawyer being raided, his home, his office, his side business being raided, tax information being taken. Listen, the walls are closing in on Donald Trump. All right. But in the meantime, Donald Trump is one of those narcissistic individuals who doesn't care. So a lot of these GOP guys who have been in the seats for years upon years upon years, which might I add, that needs to change. But hey, again, conversation for another time. But a lot of these guys realize that Donald Trump has no problem burning the entire house down on his way out. Okay, and so they want to get out, and they want to get out unscathed. And it just goes to show you that this entire system, election system, and the system that is designed to govern and repress and suppress those who struggle in this nation, the setup that it's designed to keep us down. It's designed to keep these guys, these multi-millionaires upon billionaires, the 1% in this country on top while we're on the bottom. And that's just the facts. And while we sit here and those on the left and those on the right bicker back and forth, look what's going to happen. Paul Ryan is getting ready. The spineless, shifty Paul Ryan and all the dirt that he done, okay? He's about to slide up on out of here and retire and his lavish homes with his lavish cars and have his family and be okay. And meanwhile, all the damage he's done throughout the years, well, he's gone now. It's over. This is what I'm talking about. You know, this is why I'm sitting there saying to you guys that, you know, we are headed for something that is uncharted waters when it comes to the political system. You know, everybody's waiting for this blue wave to come around. Yeah, this blue wave is coming around, but we have to be smart about it. If you think about it, you know, you think about the major seats in these special elections that the Republicans have lost. Look at the Democrats who've won. They didn't run on a completely independent, progressive ticket. They ran on a centrist. If you really break down, they ran on a centrist ticket, which is the same old BS. What they did was they tried not to upset the left or the right. And again, we have to also wake up from this perception that we only have two choices, because that's not the case. There are other people on the tickets. Stop giving these guys money who sit there and they tell you what you want to hear. Look at their track record, their history. Look at who's behind them. If these guys have major corporate backing, you best to back away, because you have to understand that these guys who are backed by these corporate sponsors, the corporate sponsors have special interest. And they don't give a shit about your pay wage. They don't give a shit about your health care. They give a shit about their bottom line. It's just facts, man. It's just facts, and we need to wake up. We have to wake up. Look at Trump, man. Trump is about to listen. He about to burn this shit down. He's about to burn this shit down. And you know what's crazy? A lot of the people who supported him, they feel it. You know they feel it. They just don't want to admit it. A lot of people, they have a lot of arrogance and a lot of pride, and they don't want to admit that they were fucking stupid and they fell for an absolute numbskull idiot who speaks like he's 12 years old, who doesn't have the aptitude to sit there and study and to know what's really going on in the world and do foreign policy. He's just all over the place. And you can't tell me that people who actually do read and do study and do understand foreign policy and do understand how the government works and does understand how our national debt works and understands how tariffs work, who really understand it, okay? You can't tell me that these people don't see that he's a fucking idiot, okay? And I'm sorry. Listen, if you're a Trump supporter, hey, I ain't even gonna pray for you. I don't know where you come from. I don't know what Kool-Aid you was drinking, but you can't take a guy who was literally a millionaire upon all his entire life, who never understood what it meant to grind or to work. All you have to do is do your research on the guy. You realize that, what he was. Okay, he was someone who was born into privilege, who just was one of those people who just so happened to be lucky, born with a silver spoon in his mouth. He's always cheated the system in some way, shape, or form, and I do not understand it, and I will never understand it, why there were people who supported him. I just think that a big part of it was the fact that a lot of you were just angry. You had a black president for 8 years, and you just didn't know how to. And your old school perspective on life just couldn't accept that there could be someone. And again, mind you, I'm not telling people that they should have voted for Hillary. Hillary was just as bad, especially to the black community. But I'm telling you guys that a lot of his supporters voted for Trump because they didn't even want to see a woman in the seat. You see how Neanderthalic and archaic that way of thinking? And look at the situation you're in now. This dude is an absolute fuck up. Absolute. He, Mr. Can't get right at all. And it's the truth. It is the truth. I could sit here and sugarcoat it for you and say, oh man, that blue wave in November is going to change everything. Because it's not going to change everything. It's just going to be more of the same, because you already have infighting in the Democratic Party. Democratic Party can't get their shit together. You think they're going to ever allow all progressive ticket? No, they're going to have centrist Democrats. They're going to have corporate Democrats who are going to push the agenda for the stockbrokers and the stock market. And as long as you have people like that running this country, it's going to be more of the same each year, day in, day out. Man, oh man. And you know what? I'm not even upset. I'm not upset. See, I've taken care of what I need to take care of. I've saved my money. Me and my woman and my child will be fine. Okay? All I'm telling to a lot of other people out there who think that this is just going to end when November come around, November 18th, right? When all of this is all over. Y'all crazy, man. Y'all are crazy.